This is so good. Really want macaroni and cheese for dinner, and I got a new crock pot, and I thought, is going to be different than how I do my creamy mac and cheese I've shown you, or how I do my baked macaroni and cheese, because unlike those, this recipe is going to have cream cheese in it. And start by adding the pasta not cooked, but it takes like a few hours, and I just want to do this an easier way. So we're going to go ahead and boil the pasta on the stove till al dente, and basically just heat up the cheeses and all in the crock pot. You know, do not get this kind of cheese to make macaroni and cheese. It's like coated, and it's not going to give you that ooey gooey cheesy sauce. You want to shred the cheese yourself. Don't be lazy when you're making macaroni and cheese. It's the one time, just don't make it. There's lazy ways to make the macaroni, but do not skimp on the cheese part. While we're waiting on the pasta to boil al dente and get perfect, look at the new crock pot. Isn't she cute? We'll link below. I just obsessed with this color. Look at the detail, it's beautiful. So what better way to break in a new crock pot than make macaroni and cheese? I know I couldn't think of anything better myself, so I said, let's do it. Grease all this down with some butter so it won't stick. The pasta is al dente, and you get a little facial with it, so that's a bonus. I drained it. Al dente is just a fancy word for it's cooked, but it's still like a little bit tough, so it won't get mushy because it's gonna cook a little bit more. So we're gonna take a little bit of that butter that was left on the paper from taking half stick of butter and greasing your crock pot. Take the rest of that butter and plop it in there right there. We'll stir. Go ahead and drop a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We're gonna season again, but we need to season the actual pasta before we season the macaroni. Like you season the chicken before you fry it, and then you put a little bit of salt on out. You know, you gotta season like you season in the flour, season in the chicken. You gotta season every little step. It matters. Ounces of cream cheese. I let this get a little bit room temperature. If it's not, it'd be okay. It'll be all right. And then with a half cup of sour cream. I don't care what kind of macaroni I make, I'm adding sour cream to it. It is a secret ingredient that gives it the perfect flavor. It's a southern thing. My mom always added a little bit of sour cream as well as evaporated milk. Okay, I do not do heavy whipping. I do not do heavy cream in any of my macaronis. I always use evaporated milk. My mom always used this. We always had this in our pantry, and it's actually cheaper. This was actually $1. Now normally it's about $2, but around the holidays they bring it around $1. So 8 ounces of mozzarella. You can use any you like. Honestly, I've used the white extra sharp cheddar, or any kind of cheese you want. You can mix it up. 1 whole pound. Just make sure you're shredding your cheeses yourself for the best results. It's a lot. Like now we're filling up the crock. Like we're almost full. Some paprika, black pepper. Then do some salt, little dash, little dash of nutmeg, just a little bit, that's it, a little bit. So we're just gonna say about a cup of milk. Or even though that cream cheese isn't melted, we're just gonna kind of like stir some of this together. Okay, it's kind of like a hot mess looking, but put the lid on. You can kind of come in and stir around, because like mix that cream cheese with everything else and then spread it back out to keep going. Look at this already though. Look at we're basically at a point where if we want to, we could stop. Notice condensation on here. Go ahead and wipe that off. Let me show you a trick. Trick you can do to keep that condensation off, and this is gonna help brown the top a little bit more, but it's perfectly fine right here. But just go ahead and take a paper towel and put loosely over your crock pot like this, and all that's gonna do is kind of help that condensation from dripping into your macaroni. For about 2 hours total. And so this is the trick. Do you see how it gets moisture right here on the lid? Keeping the paper towel on there will or you can put it back if you want to. You can just like once this is switched over to keep warm setting, you can like wipe your lid off and just remove the paper towel. That way your like guests won't see it if you're doing this for entertaining purposes, because that might freak some people out. But this is a perfect little tip for basically anything you're making in the crock pot that you don't want condensation on the lid. Just pop a paper towel, it'll do that, and then it'll help you. Let me show you this macaroni. Macaroni and cheese. Look at this cheesy cheese. So now you know how to make macaroni in the crock pot, and maybe you want to use this recipe for the holidays instead of doing like baked macaroni. This would be a really easy recipe for the holidays. I love a good baked macaroni, but if you're like, sometimes like you got too much going on, or you just want like an easier option, or maybe just like really creamy macaroni, you could always come back in and like throw more cheese on top. You know, like this is so good. This is, you want to bite? Like this thing today. Do you want to bite? Cheesy macaroni and cheese. That is super creamy, cheesy. It's perfect. Not to brag, but that's some good macaroni and cheese. Let me know if you try it. I mean, just one more time. Look at that. Oh, macaroni.